Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are Group 5, which consists of me, Raihan Fitra Nugraha as leader, followed by Algani Syaputra, Keisha Serafin, Amira Hilwa, Biantri Alika, and Hana Stefani. In this video, we will present how to read and write an analytical exposition text, so basically like the tips and the strategies of it. And we will also give you guys an example of an analytical exposition text just to let you guys familiar with it. And yeah, without further ado, let's go. But before we move on, we have some free tests for you guys to do just to see how much of knowledge you guys already have on analytical exposition text. And yeah, let's begin.
What is an analytical expression text? Analytical expression text is a persuasive writing that aims to convince the reader about a particular point of view or opinion on an issue. By presenting argument and evidence, it is commonly used in academic writing, with papers, essays, and formal discussions. This type of text focuses on breaking down an issue logically to show why a certain perspective is valid or stronger than other. So, analytical expression text adalah suatu jenis tulisan persuasif yang bertujuan meyakinkan pembaca tentang suatu sudut pandang maupun suatu opini tertentu tentang suatu isu dengan menyajikan argumen maupun suatu bukti. Teks ini umumnya digunakan dalam bentuk tulisan akademis, surat kabar, esai, maupun diskusi formal. Jenis teks ini juga berfokus pada penguraian suatu isu secara logis untuk menunjukkan mengapa suatu perspektif tertentu valid atau lebih kuat daripada yang lainnya.
The structure of an analytical exposition text. An analytical exposition text is a text that presents a writer's point of view or opinion on a particular topic. The structure of this text typically consists of three main parts. Number one is thesis or introduction. The thesis statements introduce the topic and clearly states the writer's point of view or opinion. It sets the tone for the rest of the text and provides the roadmap for the reader to follow. A good thesis statement should be concise, clear, and specific. Number two is arguments or body paragraphs. The body paragraphs present a series of arguments that support the thesis statement. Each argument is typically supported by example, evidence, and statistics that help to build a strong case for the writer's point of view. Arguments should be logically organized and clearly linked to each other. Number three is reiteration or conclusion. The conclusion restates the writer's position and summarizes the key arguments presented in the case. It provides a final talk on the topic and leaves the reader with something to think about. The reiteration should be concise and to the point and should not introduce any new information. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Raihan Fitra Nugraha from Group 5, which is I'm also the leader of Group 5. And now I'm gonna discuss about one example of an analytical exposition text. So let's get on into it. So here, as you guys can see, here's one example of an analytical exposition text. It's pretty short, but it has all the structure. And the title itself is Online Learning is Beneficial for Students. And I'm really sorry if my face cam kind of blocks the word student. And let's get on into it. So for your information, the sentence which is highlighted in yellow is the thesis part, and those who are highlighted in blue are the main arguments, and this one sentence at the end is the reiteration part. So let's talk about the thesis part first. So online learning is an effective and beneficial method of education for students. Uh, this can be considered as the thesis, as it gives an general overview of the writer about online learning, and it also introduces the main idea of this text. Jadi kenapa kalimat pertama ini bisa disebut sebagai tesisnya atau sebagai pendahuluannya, itu karena kalimat ini tuh menunjukkan opini si penulis terhadap pembacanya. Maksud saya opini penulis terhadap online learning dan seperti ide pokoknya gitulah di teks ini. And now let's discuss about the main arguments. It offers flexibility, allowing students to study at their own speed and choose the best time and place for learning. This makes it easier for students to balance school with other activities. Online learning also provides access to a variety of learning materials that may not be available in normal classrooms. Furthermore, it helps students to become more independent as they must manage their time. So here, as you guys can see, there are a bunch of arguments in this part, starting from it offers flexibility until it helps students to become more independent. Phrases like allowing students to study at their own speed and makes it easier for students to balance school with other activities shows the writer opinion on online learning. Jadi seperti yang bisa kalian lihat di sini terdapat banyak sekali argumentasi. Contohnya seperti di awal di sini, it offers flexibility, allowing students to study at their own speed and choose the best time and place for learning. Jadi kayak online learning tuh meningkatkan fleksibilitas buat pembelajaran buat murid-muridnya lah, kayak mereka bisa belajar dengan cara mereka sendiri, dengan kecepatan mereka sendiri, dan mereka juga bisa memilih kapan, waktu, dan tempat yang pas lah untuk belajar. Dan masih banyak lagi di sini. Dan ya itu sih dari argumentasi ini. Akan terdapat banyak sekali argumentasi dan opini di part ini. And now let's continue with the reiteration part. In conclusion, online learning supports student success by offering flexibility, greater access to knowledge, and opportunities for personal growth. So this sentence can be considered as the reiteration part, as first of all, it's placed at the end of the text, and it restates the writer's general point of view. I mean, not general, but the whole point of view, and it is summarized in just only one sentence. So yeah, that is why this last sentence is the reiteration part. Jadi kenapa kalimat terakhir ini dapat kita simpulkan sebagai kesimpulan atau reiteration? Karena pertama, terletak di akhir, yang dimana biasanya kan kesimpulan terletak selalu di akhir. Kedua, kalimat ini tuh mengulang kembali argumentasi yang telah disampaikan oleh si penulis di dua bagian sebelumnya. Dan yang paling penting adalah kesimpulan itu biasanya meringkas semua argumentasi menjadi hanya satu kalimat, begitu. Seperti yang bisa kalian lihat di sini, ini hanya satu kalimat, tapi satu kalimat ini benar-benar bisa dibilang sebagai ringkasan dari dua part sebelumnya, begitu. That's all from me, and I apologize if there is any mistake that I made. Sekian dari saya dan mohon maaf bila ada kesalahan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, I'm Keisha and I'm from group 5. I'm gonna talk about the perfect strategies to read. So the first one is skimming. What is skimming? Skimming is reading quickly to get a general overview of the text. We should focus on the headings, subheadings, the first and last paragraph, and keywords. Jadi teman-teman, untuk strategi membaca yang tepat pertama yaitu skimming atau membaca sekilas. Membaca dengan cepat untuk mendapatkan gambaran umum dari teks. Kita fokus pada judul, subjudul, paragraf pertama dan terakhir, serta kata-kata kuncinya. So the second one or the next one is scanning. We should reading quickly to find specific information within the text. Use keywords to find the information you are looking for. Jadi yang kedua adalah scanning atau membaca memindai. Kita membaca dengan cepat untuk menemukan informasi tertentu dalam teks. Kita menggunakan kata kunci yang akan kita cari di informasi. And the last one is identify text structure. We should separate the thesis, argument, and reiteration sections. Mark transition such as firstly, in addition, however, and therefore to identify arguments or contrasting statement. Jadi yang terakhir kita harus mengidentifikasi struktur teksnya. Kita bisa memisahkan bagian tesis, bagian argumen, dan penegasan ulang. Tandai transisi teks atau kalimat seperti pertama-tama, selain itu, namun, dan oleh karena itu untuk mengenali argumen atau pernyataan yang berlawanan.
Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Amira Hilu Amin from group 5. I will explain perfect strategies to rewrite. First, 1. Gather information and evidence. Go support your argument with concrete data. 2. Create an outline. Develop a structure for coherent and focused rewriting. 3. We write a first draft. Goal, develop ideas freely based on the outline. 4. Revise, check content and structure. Goal, ensure strong logic, evidence and paragraph flow. 5. Edit for language and formatting. Improve language and fix every spelling mistake. Ini aku akan menjelaskan tentang strategi sempurna untuk menulis teks argumen atau teks analytical. Yang pertama ada kumpulkan informasi dan bukti. Jadi kalian harus mengumpulkan informasi dan bukti secara benar untuk mendukung argumen kita dengan data konkret, dengan data yang sebenarnya. Yang kedua, buatlah garis besar. Jadi kita harus menggarisbesarkan dari apa yang kita cari tentang argumen tersebut untuk mengembangkan struktur untuk penulisan yang koheren dan terfokus. Jadi biar tulisannya kita itu fokus. Yang ketiga, tulis draft pertama. Mengembangkan ide secara bebas berdasarkan garis besar. Yang keempat, ada revisi. Setelah penulisan, kita harus merevisi atau periksa struktur apakah udah benar atau belum. Pastikan logis, bukti dan alur paragraf yang kuat. Yang kelima ada edit untuk bahasa dan performatan. Tujuannya untuk meningkatkan bahasa dan memperbaiki setiap kesalahan ejaan atau kesalahan ketik yang untuk teks argumen kita.
Perfect strategies to write connected word. 1. Adding information with information. Example include and moreover, in addition, and also. 2. Contrasting information with contrast something. Example include but, however, and even though. 3. Causality which shows cause and effect. Example include because, thus, therefore, consequently, despite, due to, and for that reason. Not an analytical exploitation text generally is successful or even that are happening in the present, so we need to use the simple present tense.
Now we have a post test to check your understanding about analytical exposition text after you watch our presentation. That's all from us. I hope you guys can now understand how to read and write an analytical exposition text. And I'm sorry if there's any mistake that we made. And yeah, thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.